now pronounce your frog and wife.
Hello, small world. Welcome to Fun Popular, the channel where I share my unpopular opinions on dating, lifestyle, media, and more. Today, I'm sharing 7 things I strongly dislike about Disney's 2009 film, The Princess and the Frog.
I'm a frog.
A frog! A frog.
We are not frogs.
Reason number 1. Tiana spends most of the movie as a frog. Tiana is a frog for roughly 70% of the film, which means she was a frog for over an hour and only human for about 20 minutes. Don't quote me on exact numbers, but after watching this movie several times, the estimate feels about right. My point is, this is Disney's first black princess. I would have loved to see more of Tiana in her human form instead of a frog princess. Reason number 2, the music. I absolutely love Almost There, Friends on the Other Side, and Anika Noni Rose's vocal ability is unmatched. So don't crucify me for this. But the soundtrack overall wasn't as memorable for me. In fact, I had to stop and ask myself, did Tiana and Naveen even have a romantic duet? If they did, I honestly don't remember.
And I love you, avenging.
Reason number 3, Prince Naveen. Don't get me wrong, he's handsome, charming, funny, and charismatic, but he's also immature, entitled, and lacks direction at the beginning of the film.
I am completely broke.
Yes, he grows as a character and eventually helps Tiana build her restaurant. Character growth matters, and I'm not saying he has to be perfect. But personally, I would have preferred a prince who already had the qualities of a dependable partner instead of another Build-A-Man workshop.
I need to dig a little deeper and work even harder.
Reason number 4, the strong, independent black woman archetype. Yes, this is going to be a little heavier. The film leans heavily into the idea that Tiana has to earn everything through relentless labor, self-sacrifice, and perseverance.
Trials and tribulations.
While that message can be empowering, I don't think it benefits black women in quite the same way it benefits other groups of women. Black women have always been expected to be strong, historically and now. And often, they're expected to be strong in ways that are masculinizing or dehumanizing.
All my life I had to fight.
Don't get me wrong, Princess Tiana is beautiful and feminine. But personally, I would have liked to see a black princess who is shown to be softer, to be protected, vulnerable, and yes, rescued by a strong, dependable warrior or knight in shining armor. Honestly, I would have enjoyed seeing Tiana as a modern damsel in distress. I hope Coleman Domingo is taking notes.
Which is why a little woman of your background.
Reason number 5, the setting. New Orleans is beautiful. It's vibrant, historic, and visually unforgettable. So I don't have a problem with New Orleans as a setting. But I'd love to see more black princess stories that aren't so closely tied to slavery, segregation, or racial struggle. Black fantasy is rich enough to exist beyond historical oppression, and I'd love to see more of that someday.
Then the frog was transformed into a handsome prince.
The frog prince?
Yes.
Reason number 6, European folklore. Another heavy one. The Princess and the Frog is based on The Frog Prince, a German folktale by the Grimm brothers. Disney also blends in Creole culture and Louisiana folklore, and honestly, I think they did a brilliant job blending the two. However, I wish Disney would have gone even further. In the future, Disney could draw more heavily from African, African American, or Caribbean folklore rather than adapting a European fairy tale. African stories aren't impossible to find, and Disney could work with historians, cultural experts, and storytellers like they did with the Waju. In fact, they have done this many times before. For example, Coco comes from Mexican culture and traditions. Moana draws from Polynesian culture and mythology. Raya and the Last Dragon drew from Southeast Asian mythology. Encanto is inspired by Colombian culture, history, and elements of magical realism. Aladdin came from 1001 Arabian Nights. Mulan originates from a poem called The Ballad of Mulan from the Northern Dai Dynasty in China. I mean, the list goes on and on. I would love to see that same creative energy applied to African and African diaspora cultures. And if you're wondering what African fairy tales could Disney possibly draw from, here's a few examples. Anansi and the Spider, Suki and the Mermaid, The Magic Orange Tree, and there's many more, including Creole stories. Now for my last reason, number 7, she's still the only official Black Disney princess. That means every creative decision carries more weight because there isn't much representation to balance it out. Yes, we've had wonderful performances like Brandy Norwood and Whitney Houston in Cinderella, and more recently Halle Bailey as Ariel, but those are reinterpretations of existing princesses. Not to mention, The Little Mermaid from 2023 was hit with a lot of backlash. A Black princess may come with controversy regardless, but I'd still love to see more original Black princesses with their own stories, worlds, romances, and mythology. The more representation we have, the less pressure there is for any one character to represent everyone. Hopefully Disney or DreamWorks or any studio willing to take the chance will create another original Black princess. Except for Tyler Perry. Please don't. Anyway, those are the 7 things I don't like about The Princess and the Frog. Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree? Would you change anything about this movie? Or what did Disney get right? Let me know your unpopular opinions in the comments below. Thanks for watching.
Prince Charming here got himself turned into a frog.